It's almost noon, I haven't even started working yet, and I'm already totally blowing it with one of my clients. I'm so sorry, bro. I freaking totally spaced it, man. Anyways, dude, I'm sorry, bro. That's on me.
Yeah, I was on the call till 10:30, just seeing what was going on, and then I had to get off, and I was like, all right, well, yeah, all right. Well, let's try to reschedule that, I guess.
So last night, I stayed up until 4:30 a.m. to finish that first YouTube video. And for me, I've found that everything falls apart if I'm not sleeping 8 hours every single night. So I slept as long as I could. I probably slept about 4 hours. And as soon as I woke up, I noticed that the house was a mess. And I found that one of the most effective things that I can do to invite good work is to give myself a good environment. So right away, I started cleaning the house, filming some B-roll for today's video. And I looked at my phone to find that I had a missed call from one of my clients who I was supposed to meet with almost 2 hours ago. This is definitely not how I want to show up, and that is a huge loss. But the best thing that I can do now is give him a call, apologize, and make sure that I'm on top of everything with him in the coming future. So I'm gonna give him a call right now, and hopefully we can get another time set up to hop on this Zoom call, because the Zoom call is where I get all of the answers that inspires the scripts that I create so that I can make the videos that these clients are paying me for. Well, dude, I owe you big time. When do you want me to turn around the deliverables that you were hoping for? So I just got off the call. He was really, really nice about it, but I could tell that me not hopping on that call when I was supposed to today really did throw a wrench in his day. And one of my strengths, but something that kind of throws a wrench in my own day in situations like this, is I want to take responsibility for my actions and make sure that I can make it up to that person as much as I can and show them how valuable they are to me. I haven't created my big three for today, but I know for sure that with some of the content that I've got for this client in the past, I'm definitely going to whip something up for him and send it over to him today so the client can see that I still really value my relationship with him. And just whipping up some content for him from footage that we've had in the past, obviously that's not going to make up the time that he lost and what else he could have scheduled in his day. But I think the key point here is just showing effort and showing that you do value the relationship. To be honest, I don't really have a good hook to bring you guys into the video today, but I do promise in every single video, I will do my absolute best to provide you guys with value and give you at least one thing that you can implement immediately. All things that I do or use every day and things that have actually moved the needle for me in my business or personal development. So yesterday I talked about a learning from Steve Jobs, which is the difference between signal and noise, and how focusing on signal actually gets you to where you need to be, which are the three things that I write down every single day that help me move the needle in my business. So today I want to share with you guys how I actually choose those three things. So the first thing that I do every single morning before I get started with work is I sit down and I think about the things that need to be done that day. So that means looking at what meetings and appointments I have that day, following through with any commitments I made, sending over deliverables that I said would be done. Obviously today is not a super good example of that because I myself missed that meeting this morning and I'm not proud of that at all. But that is also why I try to get to my desk before 9 every single day, because I'll never schedule a meeting before 9. So if I can sit down before 9 and have that as my routine, then I make sure that everything that I need to get done that day, I'll have time to do. But with me staying up until 4:30 last night, by the time I was going to bed, I was just focused on trying to get a full 8 hours of sleep. But with that, when I woke up, the first thing on my mind wasn't, I need to hurry and go sit at my desk. So that is definitely a lesson for me. I need to make sure that I'm checking my calendar first thing when I wake up, especially after I'm having a later night, so I don't miss anything like that. So again, the first thing that I do is I think about my obligations and the things that I said that I would get done that day. I grab one of these sheets and I just write today, exclamation point, and underline it. And then I create 3 little boxes. And then again, I think about what are my obligations. So for me, thinking through that, tomorrow my friend is getting married and I'm one of his groomsmen and he's having his groomsmen wear a tux. So today I have to go pick up my tux. I'm gonna go get a haircut. And like every day I need to get myself to the gym. None of these 3 things have to do with work or have to do with me making steps towards becoming successful. And so I automatically will rule any of these things out and really not allow any of these to be a part of my big 3. That could be a reason as to why I have a hard time accomplishing accomplishing all three, because when I say big three, I really mean the big three that I need to get done in my business. Most days I have at least a list of 5 to 10 things that I absolutely need to get done. So again, I'm not going to write those things down because those aren't going to be anything that actually helps me get to where I want to be in the long run. Those are just things that need to be done today. And the next thing I like to do, and this is how I actually figure out what's going to move the needle in my business, is I call it business chess. And it's something that I learned from Alex Hormozi. In one of the podcasts I was listening to with him, he said, think about the things that could kill your business in the fewest possible steps, and then reverse it and do those things. So example for me, this is a good time for me to think about that because I'm pretty much at ground zero with my business. So there are a whole bunch of things that I need to be doing to make sure that my business doesn't go under before it even starts. So what those things would be for me is, first, I know that my business needs a website so that when people hear about us, they can see that we're serious, we're an actual business. They can see what we offer, maybe a couple of reviews, so that we can gain their trust and then have a place where they can contact us. So today, one of my goals is going to be just picking a website template, because even though many people can probably get a whole website done in a day, being a perfectionist, choosing something as simple as a template could be the thing that prevents me from taking the next step overall. So if you need to build a website for yourself, I'm sure you could just do it in one day, but I know myself well enough to know that if I try to assign myself that task, I'm going to overthink it and it just won't get done overall. So when it comes to something like that, I'm focused more on just assigning myself really simple tasks. So I just wrote down for number 1, website template. And the third thing that I like to do to make sure that what I'm choosing for my big 3 is good and actually going to move the needle is to multiply that task by 10 or 100 and to ask myself, if I did this 10 or 100 times, would this have an impact on my business? And if it doesn't, then I completely let go of it. So for in this case, creating a website template in and of itself isn't anything special. It doesn't really move the needle. But if I chose one thing to work on my website every single day for the next 10 days, then I would be 10 steps ahead and probably done with my website within the next week and a half. If I multiply it by the next 100 days, I will have completed my website long before that. So in this case, just choosing website template is a good enough goal for me, especially because I've been in business for 4 years and I've never had a website because of the perfectionism aspect. Which does remind me, I want to tell you guys what my big 3 are every day, because the following day I want to be accountable with you and show you if I actually completed those 3 tasks. And if I didn't, put a tally down for every time I didn't complete a task because of perfectionism. And with that being said, let's take a look at yesterday's big 3. So for yesterday, I thought that my 3 goals were going to be quick and simple. So I actually wrote 5 because I thought I would easily be able to get these things done. So of the 5, I actually only got 2 of the 5 done. One of them was yesterday's YouTube video, and the other was creating a proposal on Adobe Illustrator for my brand Articulate. So the other 3 things that I could have gotten done, I could have chosen a domain and website name super quickly and easily, but I was getting stuck on what I wanted it to be called. And so I texted multiple people, got their opinion, and at the end of the day, I didn't even end up choosing something because I didn't know exactly what it would be. I've heard from very accomplished people on YouTube many times that one of the biggest things that they do that have helped them become successful in business is learning how to make decisions really, really quickly. And I can see how that's so important, because with something as simple as choosing an email or domain name, if I can't make a decision that small, and that's something that's weighing on my shoulders for multiple days, think about how many simple things I stack on my shoulders that don't actually get done. So that's a big reason why I want to tally how many times perfectionism prevents me from being able to check off the things on my list. And then the other 2 were send deliverables to a client and then pitch that same client on my new offer. But because I didn't have the proposal perfectly done the way I wanted it to be, I didn't end up giving him a call, and I didn't even end up sending him his deliverables, even though his content is already finished. So again, that would have been something that literally could have taken me less than 2 minutes, but I didn't send those deliverables because I had an idea of what I wanted it to look like. And that prevented me from being able to get anything done at all. So to finish it up, coming back to today, one of those things is website template. The other thing I want to do is nurture my relationship with that client I was talking about earlier, so he knows that I value my relationship with him. So for my second thing, I wrote edit and send new photos. And then the third thing is, of course, edit this video, which I'll be posting today. And again, if you weren't here yesterday, one of my big 3 for the next 89 days will be shooting and editing these daily videos. So I'll write 2 out of 90 DITL, as in day in the life. Other people aren't going to be looking at this. The only thing that matters is that you know what it means. So today, my big 3 are choose a website template and then get my domain locked in, edit and send some new photos to that client, and then film, edit, and publish this video that I'm working on right now.
So I just was reminded from my calendar that I also have my first physical therapy appointment today at 4:30. And I usually like to be relatively early, so I need to be there about 4:15, which is in just over an hour. I still haven't picked up the tux yet. Still haven't got myself a workout, and honestly haven't even started on any of my big 3 today, and it's already 3 o'clock. Ideally, I can start jumping into these things around 9 or 9:30 every single day. Honestly, it does happen where I won't be able to start until, after 12 or 1, because a lot of times the things that I need to get after right away, I will do first thing in the morning, and I won't put them apart as my big 3. Now that I'm saying this out loud, I'm realizing that probably a big reason why I don't accomplish my big 3 every day is because I think they're usually more of a challenge than just stuff that I'm committing to. But I do feel committed to them every day. I'm just realizing that I put a lot more on my plate than just 3 things. Potentially looking at the things that I have in front of me for the whole day and eliminating some of those things to help me accomplish the big 3 could be something that pushes me in the right direction. Because like Steve Jobs said, and like we talked about in our last video, there's signal and there's noise. Really anything outside of what I put on the card, for the most part, is noise. But something really big about this series and about what I want to accomplish in the long term, I want to prove to myself and to everyone else who's interested in living this lifestyle that you can spend time with your family, you can take care of your health, you can get enough sleep, and you don't have to neglect relationships to be able to realize a level of success. Obviously, if you want to be like an Elon Musk or Steve Jobs, you'll probably have to be closer to 80 to 100% signal. But for a lot of us, we just want to be able to obtain enough wealth to where it doesn't get in our marriages, it doesn't get in our relationships, we can feed the family, we can pay the bills, we can buy ourselves a few things that we'd like to enjoy, be able to travel the world a little bit, have some freedom to be able to develop on the skills that we want to learn in our lives. And that type of lifestyle does not require Elon Musk level wealth. So before this appointment, my goal is to be able to get these photos done and sent off, and also be able to lock down a domain for my company Articulate. And right after the appointment, I'll head over to pick up the tux, come back and start editing this video. And then right before the sun goes down, I'll probably go out for a run or take my bike out, and then wrap the day up with choosing a template for my website and paving the path for a good day tomorrow. I was just here editing and I kept trying to work on this photo, but Adobe Lightroom kept crashing on me. And that's just one of the unfortunate things that you run into, probably in any job, but especially in a creative job where you're working with softwares all the time. They always have bugs, updates. And for the most part, they work really, really well. But sometimes you just need to figure out what the problem is. You have to troubleshoot. You really just have to be like a problem solver, especially if you want to get these things done. So it would be easy for me to just be like, oh man, Lightroom's having problems today. I'll just wait until they release an update in a couple of days and I'll get back to doing what I need to be doing. But today, because I want to get those photos over to my client, and because I have to leave in like 25 minutes to my appointment, I have to figure out what the problem is. And it could be a variety of things. It could be that my storage is too full. It could be that my computer just needs a reset. It could be that I need to check if there's an update for Lightroom. It could be a variety of things, but I'm just going to start with restarting my computer and hope that that does the trick. All right, so as I was hoping, that restart worked and my Lightroom is doing the trick right now, which gives me about 20 minutes to work on these photos. I wanted to show you guys some simple things that I'm doing and some things that I look out for in Lightroom when editing a photo that bring it from being just a standard photo to looking a little bit more professional. So let's just go over to the before right here. One thing that you'll notice is there's just some things busying up the photo. This truck over here, I would love to take out, but unfortunately it kind of makes the truck look weird. You just look for the things that you can remove, like this dot right here, this painted line, this stuff in the back, these windows. If you do just a little bit of that, here's a before and after. It's not a huge difference, but if you just look at the photo thinking about scrolling on it, in the after photo, you're exclusively looking at the truck and trying to figure out why whoever posted it. And after seeing the photo and being like, oh, I wonder who posted this, you look up, see RLT Auto Spa, which is who this client is. They'll see that it's done by an auto spa and they'll want to go get their car detailed by this person. So just little simple things like that make a really big difference. And even though it's not some like next level creative photo, you're doing your job at selling the photo to the viewer and selling the product for the client who hired you. So I only have about 10 more minutes before I need to head to my physical therapy appointment, but I wanted to show you guys what I'm doing here to identify like the photos that I want to send over to my client and select only the photos that I know that I would want to edit. Then I go through those photos and choose 10 photos that include at least 1 or 2 with an aesthetic appeal, 1 or 2 that sells what they're doing, 1 or 2 that are showing them in action, and then 1 or 2 of the final product. So that left me with 10. These aren't edited yet, but these are the photos I selected. We have this one with him in action, this one with the before and after, him in action, showing the dirt coming through right there. This is a before and after with him in action. This is just more of an aesthetic shot. I haven't edited it yet, but it's got some pretty crisp stuff to work with. This is in action. This is more of a before and after. I can edit that to show you a little bit better of a look.
And then these are the after and hero shots. So I just wanted to show you guys my thought process there. Obviously, these aren't like the sexiest photos or the sexiest thing to be shooting, but any type of reps is going to get you better. If you can sell something and make something not super sexy look really sexy, then you're doing a really good job. So I'm now on my way to my physical therapy appointment. Something that's been really helpful for me is always using Google Maps, even if I know where I'm going. Sometimes there's construction, or right now there's actually just an accident that just happened. And if I went that way, I probably would have been late to my appointment, but because I'm using Google Maps, I'll be 5 minutes early. I grabbed a Raw Nutrition protein shake from my house to bring with me just so I can put down some protein and calories while I'm out on my drive. I also brought my iPad just in case it takes them a minute to get me in, so I can work on getting my website up and finding a domain name and purchasing that. Just barely got done with PT. He said within 6 to 7 treatments, we could possibly be getting me back to doing some workouts that I want to be doing, which would be amazing because it's been almost 2 whole years since I've been able to have a good lift. So on the bright side, it's gotten me into cardio. I've been really enjoying biking and running a lot, which I don't think I really would have ever done if it weren't for injuring my shoulder. But to be able to get back and have all of those things now that I, can incorporate and enjoy cardio, and to be able to go get some good reps, and some lifting sets, get my bench back up, that would be huge. So pretty hopeful about that. Headed over to the tuxedo shop to pick up my rental, and then hopefully we'll be back by 6:40, which at that point I will finish all the photos that I need to get out, get my website rolling, and then start cranking away on editing this video. So I called the barbershop, and it looks like they have some availability early morning tomorrow. So that should allow me to free up some time to get my big 3 done today. So over the last year or two, when I've been going to Chick-fil-A, I just haven't spent any of the points that I've gotten on the app. And I was able to just redeem my points for my meal tonight, which is perfect because I love going out to eat and I love getting food. It's one of my favorite things in the world. I don't like spending money on eating out when it's just myself and my wife is out of town for work. So it just works out perfectly this way. Saves me some time. I know I'll be able to get some calories in me instead of just getting home, focusing on work and forgetting to eat. Then I don't have to pay for my meal. So it looks like the rest of the night will just be me focusing on work, focusing on getting these big 3 done, editing my video, going out for a run, getting the website up, and then hopefully getting to bed early enough to get some good sleep. So it's 7:38 p.m. I just barely got done editing those photos, and honestly, I'm slowing down quite a bit. I still have to do 2 of the 3 things on my big 3 today, and I'm just in a spot where my brain is constantly wanting to hop on Facebook Marketplace or YouTube, not even to just scroll and just rot, but to do things that it thinks are productive, like watching podcasts that will help me become more wise or giving me some insights on how to run a better business. But I think a lot of the time I do this to kind of numb my mind from what I really need to be doing. It's kind of a vulgar term, but it's something that Alex Hormozi calls mental masturbation. And that's a good way to describe what you're really doing to your mind when you're doing something that you think is the right thing to do, but really isn't. Right now at 7:41 p.m., I am just pushing through and I'm just reminding myself, go for signal, forget about the noise, especially while my wife is out of town. There's no better time for me to practice this than now. Because if she was here, I'd probably just say like, hey, let's just hang out for a sec. Let me get my mind off things. Let me just refresh. But this is a really good opportunity for me to learn to work through that dip and to know that if I can just stay in the flow for the next 15 or 30 minutes, I'll probably get back up on another high and be able to work for the next few hours and accomplish what I need to do. So I just share that because I'm sure I'm not the only one. And if that's something that you struggle with, just know that you're definitely not alone in it. This is how I'm trying to work through it, and I recommend trying the same. So I was able to finish those photos, just barely got those exported and delivered. And then I sent them over to client and said, hey, these ones are on me. Least I can do for leaving you hanging this morning. Even though it's not a huge deal, it saves them $350 and it'll probably make me a lot more in the long run because our relationship will stay healthy. So I'll let you know what comes of that. We still have a shoot planned with him on the 16th and I'm really looking forward to that, especially because we're trying to get a supercar out for that. So that should be really sick. This is going to sound funny, but honestly, I had a headache from that. I finally just barely got my template and my domain name. I decided on articulate.studio. It was hard because I really couldn't choose between articulate.studio or articulate.co. Co is a lot shorter, but the parent company of all my businesses is called Venture Film Co. That's what I started with in 2020. I don't necessarily want to say it feels outdated. It doesn't really feel like this season for me. And
Articulate.studio just speaks a little bit more to what we actually do. So yeah, it is long, and I don't know if I love how long it is, but it just feels better. I like the idea of Articulate.co because it's short, because it's simple, but something was just drawing me into the other. So now I need to get outside and get on my run before the sun goes down, and then I can come back in, edit this video, and then I will have accomplished everything on my big 3 today.
My goal is to provide you guys with some value, hopefully inspire you a little bit to get after your own goals. And if you don't have goals, I encourage you to set some for yourself. Think about what you want your life to look like for the next 2 to 5 years. Backtrack to today and think about if what you're doing today is going to help you get there in the next 2 to 5 years. If not, just make some small adjustments that will help you get on that path. And my hope is that each of these videos will be something that can help you get there. Guys, we are currently at 335 subscribers. My goal is that here on YouTube, by the end of these 90 days, I'll be able to reach 1,000. Please subscribe if this is helpful for you, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.